Over the past few years, a ton of new life sim games have popped up, and I've been following a lot of them pretty closely. You've probably heard of things like Paralives or Life by You. Now, obviously, none of these games have actually released yet, but it seems like there's a pretty big and growing market of games that are trying to compete with The Sims. And today, we're gonna talk specifically about a game called Paralives, because this one I think has a lot of promise, but there's also been some very interesting recent developments. We've been talking about Paralives on my YouTube channel for years now. I think the first video I made about this was over 3 years ago. So if you're not familiar, Paralives describes itself as an upcoming life simulation dollhouse indie game. Basically, they're trying to make a game like The Sims, but not The Sims, a different life simulation game. It's an indie game, so it's a really small, independent team, no big publisher behind them. And the name Paralives is meant to be a reference to like parallel lives, because you're living different lives in this life simulation game. I've got a lot of thoughts and feelings about this game, which we will get into in a minute. But first, I want to talk about the big news from today, because Paralives has officially confirmed that they're aiming to release in early access in 2025. And that is a really, really long way away, but a lot of us have been following this game for a long time, so it's really exciting to see an officially confirmed release date, even if it's a very vague one. We obviously don't know when in 2025, and I wouldn't even be surprised if it got delayed further past that, to be honest, but it's still exciting to have that news today. And they posted a 7-minute long gameplay reveal video today, so I'm thinking that we should watch this together. They were actually kind enough to link this to me early. I'm recording this the day before the news drops. I'm not like being paid by them or anything. They literally just sent me an email with a link to the trailer. And I'm kind of excited about this because I've made some videos in the past about previous stuff they've posted on YouTube. We've gone through and watched quite a few of these reveal videos and seen some of the gameplay and the build mode as it's been being made. I literally made an entire video about this Meet Maggie video from 3 years ago. We were all very excited about the like color customization and stuff from the hairs, and a lot has changed since then. I haven't watched this video yet because I was waiting for us to watch it together. I thought we could go through and like pause and point out things that are exciting to us. I don't really know what to expect from this, so I'm kind of curious to see what they're gonna show us. I've always thought that Paralives is so beautiful. The environment, the world, the buildings in it, I'm so excited about. And it looks like this is how the personality is gonna be made. Okay, this reminds me a little bit of The Sims 2 with the points, how you can assign them to different categories. There's physique, mind, creativity, and charisma. You can also pick a vibe, a social perk, a talent. Then you can select lifestyles, including being vegetarian. You can pick your sleeping habits and also your cleaning habits. So that's kind of interesting. So it's a little bit different than like the trait system that we're used to in The Sims. It's kind of separated out into a few different categories. When you select vibes, there's overjoyed, grumpy, gloomy, energetic, serious, anxious, peaceful, and jester. Okay, and then social perk. You can pick good at being alone, good at making friends, good at taking care of others, good at romantic relationships, good with family, and good at cooperation. I think that's kind of interesting. I prefer this as an alternative to like picking just a romantic trait, because it means that every person will have some sort of social perk. And even if you don't want to be social, you still get a perk because you're good at being alone. So I prefer this, I think, to how The Sims does it. I'm sorry to like nonstop compare it to The Sims, but Paralives does that too, which we'll get into in a bit. They are really marketing this game to Simmers and like trying to point out, hey, look at all the things that you hate about The Sims. We don't have those. But again, we'll talk about that later. You can also pick a talent. So you can be a jack of all trades. You can be good at music, fitness, food, technology, visual arts, or nothing, which, I mean, fair enough. I like that, I think. I'll be curious to see how that impacts things. And also, speaking as a vegetarian, I like how that's just a tick box and not like a trait. I've always hated that about The Sims, how your trait being vegetarian was like 1/3 of your entire personality. I don't think that like the food I choose to eat is like my whole personality, you know? And The Sims doesn't really let you do that. Okay, here's how bills work. Municipal taxes, electricity, unemployment benefits. That's interesting. We got a bill on Monday and a bill on Tuesday, and it looks like they're upset about the bills, which I get. I'm kind of intrigued by the UI. It's always interesting to me to see how games approach the time and date system, because the length of time that the seasons last really affects also how long each day is, and like how long it takes to shower and how long it takes to cook a meal. Like all of these things have to be affected, and it's just really interesting to me as a fan of games how they choose to approach that. But I'm sorry, you probably don't care about that too much. It doesn't really matter that much. Okay, so you can also find a job. Interestingly, you can go out to places and you can like apply at the place. So you can be a barista, you can be a cook, or you could be a manager here at this cafe. Obviously, our person is just starting out, so they're not qualified. And it offers you daily pay. 150 per day is pretty decent. I'm also always very interested in how they approach the economy in games like this, and like how much money do you earn in a day at an early level? How much money does stuff cost? I'm just always so curious how they're gonna do it. This is really interesting because in total, you need to have 4 skill points from these 3 categories, but it looks like they can be applied from different sections. So we have no customer service skill, but our food knowledge and our cooking skill make up for that. I really like that. I think that's way more realistic and it makes more sense than like you have to have cooking level 4 or whatever. The skills are like separated out a little bit more. So we got the job. It starts next Wednesday. We went to work. We earned $150 at work and we got an upgrade point to spend. So if we choose to upgrade our job, we can use the point and we can choose to upgrade our job rank to get a bonus, upgrade our customer service level to get a bonus, or choose to listen to music while working, which doesn't give us any money, but does give us more music knowledge. I am so fascinated by that. I never anticipated the career having that degree of customization. So now we're rank 2. We've got no expertise and no extras, but we can see all of the days that we have work and the hours we work, which actually isn't too bad. Only 5 hours a day is like pretty decent to be making $165. I almost said simoleons. I gotta stop myself. Different game. Okay, so here's build mode. So we can see the UI a bit better. We've got a build category, so you can see doors, windows, stairs, columns. There's a rooms category, product, style, and a search bar. Up here in the UI, we can also see how much money we have. It looks like maybe an up and down stairs and walls changing option. Over here, behind the watch later and share button, there's probably a screenshot button, maybe notifications. We can see the time and the day down here. And then over here in this bottom corner, we can see the house, we can see our character, and we can also see some of these little build tools as well. So we're going in the product category. Wait, go back. Look at the hobbies. I'm seeing an easel. I'm seeing a telescope. There's a guitar. We've got some gym equipment, even a yoga mat. I think that's a triangle. Like you can learn to play the triangle. And I believe that is a photo of a cat. I don't know what that does in game, but I'm not mad about it. And that guitar costs like 150, which isn't too bad comparatively. So it looks like that's how you switch between build mode and live mode. We just clicked on the house, went into build mode, and then they clicked back onto the para and then went into live mode. Watch this. And now we can see what they want to do. They want to make friends, play guitar, do something fun. They also could use a shower and you can just select to practice the guitar. I wonder if they start out really terrible. Oh, okay. The game's not done yet. Forgive their animations, okay? She is still a work in progress. It's not finished. We have to be nice. Don't worry about it, okay? It's early. This is really interesting. So there's a separate guitar skill and a separate just general music skill. I kind of like that because if you're good at guitar, you're probably also good generally at music and you might pick up a different instrument pretty easily too. So up here we can see our skill levels. There's a music category. Oh wow. And the higher music knowledge you have, the faster you'll learn any music skill. I'm so interested in this game. I think it's gonna be so cool. All right, Thursday. We're home from work. We also got an upgrade point to spend. I'm curious how often you get them. Like how quickly do you earn these upgrade points? Because getting a promotion every day is kind of wild. I'm not mad, like I'll take the money, but I don't know. We're picking listening to music while working to gain music knowledge, apparently. I would have picked the money, but maybe I'm silly. You can do interactions as a group. Oh, you can click and drag to select more than one at once. That's so interesting. I'm really curious about that. And now we're all of a sudden controlling all 3 of those people. Huh. And there's a together bar that fills up. Select a together card to develop relationships in the way you want. Okay, so I think that you have to fill the bar to talk to them. Is that what it's telling me? And then as you talk to them more, you unlock relationship labels. You can become acquaintances and then friends and everything. We can choose to come and talk inside of the cafe. I really love the vibes of these community lots. This is so cool. The together bar takes 1 hour to fill up. Okay, so once an hour, you can pick a different social interaction to learn more about them. It sounds like these 2 Sims are music composers and programmers. Sorry, not Sim. Paras. They're paras. Apologize about messy house. The choice of together cards depends on the context of conversation. So depending on what's happening, they'll get different selections. And we just became friends. We are officially friends with those people. And then, this is what I want to see. I'm so excited about the build mode. Oh my god. This excites me so much. You have no idea. Being able to decorate the houses is like the absolute best thing about this game. I know that I'm like mostly a builder in The Sims too, so it makes sense, but I'm really interested in that. Okay, sorry, let me go back. I wasn't paying attention. I was too excited about the house. So as you play, you can upgrade your personality, which is kind of a funny way of putting it, but you like earn these points, these like skill points, and then you can use that to upgrade. So we can choose to be studious and make all of our skills improve 20% faster, or be hardworking and get a 20% chance of having a second job upgrade point each day. So it sounds like you do get a job upgrade point every day, which is interesting. The whole game is about these upgrade points. I'm not really sure how I feel about that too much. I think it's an interesting way of doing it, but it does seem like it's more focused on progression and like progressing through your career and through the skills and through your own personality. We're at the gym right now, which is kind of cool. I think we may have a crush on this random guy. Carl. Okay, I'll talk to him. So we wait and let them just talk by themselves, and then we can work out together. They want to flirt with Carl. Risky flirt, ask for training tips, or develop a secret crush. Okay. I'm interested in that risky flirt thing, but we've developed a secret crush. We're also building our exercising and our fitness skills while we do that. Here's the social like relationship bar category. We can see with our friend Erica, we're friend level 1, guitar buddy level 2, and neighbor level 1. Mustache man. Okay. There's also Sam, Carl, Roger, Jason, Leah, Maggie, Sasha. Interesting. Sam, we've got neighbor level 3, friend 1. With Carl, we're secret crush level 1, acquaintance and formal classmate. Wait, look at that. That's cool. I love seeing these like different relationship labels that people have. Oh, we've invited Carl over. Did we cook for him? I really want to impress Carl. We've seen all these ones. That's the first like aggressive one. We're serenading him, it looks like, to impress him with our skills. Be surprised by initiatives from townies. I work at the high school and we're looking for a music teacher. Would you like the job and follow your passion? You can say yes, no emotion. You can say absolutely, or just no. Anissa got the job. Oh, that's really cool. I like the idea of other people like offering you opportunities and stuff. That's a different sort of social interaction than I was expecting. Not to compare it to The Sims, but in The Sims, we're like hard pressed to get a sim to even like propose to you. Being offered a specific career, which does happen, but being offered one that's more specific, like, oh, I work at the school. Do you want to also work at the school? As opposed to like, oh, here's 5 calls asking you to just randomly be an astronaut because you've got the logic skill, which is what tends to happen in The Sims 4. Okay, so some together cards have like higher percent chances. In this case, we flirted with him and it worked because it had a higher percent chance. Oh, attempt first kiss. Oh my. I hope it works out. Oh, that's a cute kiss interaction. I like the animation. That's nice. I'm excited about this game. I'm really excited about this game. I'm gonna love this. I know I'm gonna love this. 2025 early access release with bugs and missing features. Yeah. Good to point that out now. Early access release. There's gonna be stuff going on when it's still first released. Paralives will never have paid DLC. Only free expansions. See, this is a massive selling point. You can support them on Patreon right now. They actually do pretty well on Patreon. I'll show it to you in a minute. And that, it looks like, is the end of this gameplay teaser video. Okay, let's talk about this for a second. I want to start with the Sims comparison situation. This game is a life sim. The target audience is the people who play The Sims. I am like the exact target audience to this game. And it's got a lot of features that The Sims has, and it also has a lot of features that The Sims doesn't have. And that's both a good and a bad thing, I think. This is kind of hard for me to explain, but it almost feels like they're taking all of the things that people are mad about with The Sims and then being like, hey, we're gonna have the opposite of that. So like they're promising things like weather and seasons and pets all in the base game. And that's of course the complete opposite of The Sims model with the paid DLC and all of these packs and stuff. And that's not a bad thing. I'm actually really very impressed by all of those promises. I think it just makes me a little bit nervous that we might end up over over-promising by accident, while at the same time really pandering to an audience of people who hate The Sims that could very quickly turn on Paralives too. A lot of the community response to Paralives has been this like, yes, thank God, they're gonna crush The Sims. And I just don't think that that's a healthy outlook or a healthy expectation to put on this game. This is an indie game. It's a very small team. There's 12 people that work on this game. It's not EA. They don't have billions of dollars to back this. This is a passion project from a small group of people, and they don't have the same resources or funding that places like EA do. And that's not to say that it's not going to be good. There are a lot of fantastic indie games out there. I just don't think it's fair to put The Sims level expectations on this right now. I really just don't want it to come out and then not meet those expectations and then have people give up on it. And it's gonna be good, but let's just not sit here and act like it's gonna destroy The Sims, because The Sims has millions of dollars and a long history and a huge name behind it. There's not really any other life sims out there, and I don't want like one of these two games to be the winner. I just don't look at it like that. I love The Sims. I love the idea of life simulation games, and I want to play more of them so badly. Like, I want to have a ton of these games and I'll play all of them. For me, it's not really a one or the other kind of thing. Like, just give me them all. I'll compare it to Stardew Valley for a second, which is a very hugely successful indie game. It's a farming simulation. I love Stardew Valley with all of my heart. Like, one of my favorite games of all time. And I also just love farming games. I'll play pretty much any farming game you give me. And there's a lot of farming games that have been coming out recently. I'm not looking to any of those to kill Stardew Valley or to replace Stardew Valley. I just like the genre and I want to see more of them. So that's kind of my outlook with Paralives and with all of these future life sims that are being talked about right now in general. I know that most of you feel similar to me with that, but I just get nervous for Paralives. I don't want them to overpromise and then have people like turn on them when it doesn't meet those expectations. This is maybe not fair of me to even bring up or like potentially criticize, but I've just been burned like one too many times with other games. So first, this 2025 early access release business. So a lot of you may have also heard of a game called Life by You, which is a different life sim made by a different company. Life by You was originally supposed to come out in early access of September of last year. Then it was going to be March of this year, and now it's been delayed again. So it's probably going to be delayed like a full extra year. And I don't think that that's a bad thing. Like, take your time, make the game be as good as it can be before early access. But it does kind of burn some bridges with the community and make people nervous when you keep delaying things, especially because Life by You had people pre-ordering it that had to get refunded. There's no reason to believe that Paralives will have to do that. I'm just kind of like leaving room for that expectation in the back of my mind, just in case. I'm kind of reading this as like a tentative, maybe it'll come out in 2025 in early access, and if not, that's okay. I believe them, I trust them, I hope that it's true, and I'm crossing my fingers for them. I like that they mentioned this with bugs and missing features thing, because when a game comes out in early access, that basically means they're gonna release it before it is done on purpose. And they release it so people can play it, people can give feedback, and they can work on it and implement new features, they can finish things, they can bug test, all while there's an active player base. This is very common. A lot, if not most games are doing this these days. It's just something to keep in mind. When it comes out first, it's gonna be an early access release, not done. It will not be complete on this day, but people could play it on this day and play that early access version. And then the other thing that kind of scares me is this Paralives will never have paid DLCs promise, and there is no reason to believe that Paralives specifically is lying about this or will go back on this. It's just that recently there's this game called Disney Dreamlight Valley. I don't know if you've heard of it before, but I like obsessively played this game last year, and they promised forever that it was going to become free eventually. The idea was that you would pay for it in early access, get some in-game currency, and then when it fully came out, it would be free to play for everybody. And they were gonna make all of their money by selling in-game content and like cosmetics and stuff for your characters. Well, they went back on that. Like last month, they said, actually, never mind, the game's not gonna be free, and also we're gonna have a paid expansion pack, which is like a complete departure from the original model they had talked about. I am not a huge fan of microtransactions, especially with how expensive they are in Dreamlight Valley, but I can kind of let it slide when it's just cosmetics because you can still play without them. And I'm not a huge fan of the paid expansion model either, but like I play The Sims, so who am I to judge? okay? But I strongly believe that you have to pick one. You can't have an expensive paid expansion pack, the cost of a Sims expansion pack, and also have microtransactions. So anyway, Dreamlight Valley has like really made people mad. The player base is really upset with them right now. So this promise from Paralives is a fantastic promise. I love the idea of that. Like, you just buy the game once and then you have the game. That's great. I wish that more games did that. I'm just kind of nervous. Like, what if it comes out and they're like, actually, we're gonna do like this paid content, because a lot of games have been doing that recently, so I'm scared. They have never given us any reason to believe they will do that, but I'm scared, okay? This is cool though, like really cool. This is what I hope for out of a game. If you would like to, you can support them on Patreon. A lot of games have stuff like this, where if you pay for it, you can get your name in the credits and stuff like that. It's a cool way to support this small indie team while they're still working on the game. It is very expensive to make a game, and they have to fund that somehow, so this is how they're doing that. This is their Steam page. It says, you live and then you die, but at least do it in a nice house. Paralives is an upcoming life simulation game. Build your dream house, create some characters, and manage their lives the way you want. I can show you some of the videos on Steam because we can see more of the character customization. I feel sort of conflicted about the art style of Paralives. I don't know how to explain this, but it seems to me like the character and the world they're in do not match. And I've always thought this, like, since they were first working on it. I really like the art style of the character, and I love the art style of the world. It's like them together that I'm not so 100% sure on. You can even kind of see it here. Like, the character looks like a sketch, and then we have the plant. It's like a totally different vibe. There's actually some really interesting character customization though. Like, you can change the color of the eyes separately, for example. Lots of details like that in the create a character mode. Create a para, I don't know what they're gonna call it yet. I keep wanting to call it cast because that's what it's called in The Sims, but that's not correct. That's not what it is here. Just here we can see options for eyebrows, eyelashes, nose, mouth, teeth, facial hair, ears. Long list of stuff that you can customize. Here's where you can place the beauty spots, and you can like really customize the size and adjustment of this, which is kind of cool. They just like dragged it around this character's face. Over on the side here, we can also see things like face freckles and scars as options. And then they kind of jump to and show us a couple different options of people created in the game, which is kind of cool. You can see more of the clothing and stuff this way. Here's a little example of build mode and some of the build tools that are going to be coming in Paralives. I feel like I made an entire video about this video because back in the day, we didn't have too much footage. For a long time, we had mostly just build mode footage. Then we got some character customization footage, and now they're finally starting to show us some of the actual gameplay content coming to the game. But it looks like a very promising build mode. There's a ton of different customization options. You can like really detail this, and I love the style of these builds. I just think that looks so cool. In that email with the trailer link, they also sent me a little Google Drive folder with some screenshots, so we can look through a few of these to see some more of the customization options. This is how the body customization is going to work. So these are all arrows that you can click and drag. You can also change the waist size separately. Then we've got a couple examples of the clothing customization. So you can pick the top and then change the patterns and the colors completely separately, kind of like in The Sims 3. For skin color, they've got a few default swatches, but also a color wheel. So you can completely customize this. To me, specifically for skin color options, this is like bare minimum for a new life sim game that's coming out in 2025. Like, they have to have stuff like this at this point, but I'm really glad that they do. There's a couple more screenshots of build mode. You guys, I'm so obsessed with this. I'm so excited to build in this game. I think this looks so cool, and the amount of customization with like the size and placement of items and walls and color, this is gonna be so good. I'm gonna use this game like a build sim, I think. I'll play it, but I'm by far most excited about build mode. We can see a couple of the furniture options. What I will say is, just looking at this UI, I think this is very confusing. They're probably gonna polish this, but they're gonna need some better imagery for what we're selecting out of the build catalog. Cause like, why is this one cut off? What is that? I don't even know what that is. Like a table maybe? So yeah, still in development, not finished. It'll change, but I'm excited about the build mode. This is a picture of that cafe. I'm so excited about these fairy lights they've got on the wall. I love seeing the different places you can go and visit and like the pre-built areas. Look at this online order pickup section. Like, the detail details of that. That's so cool. It's also interesting to see that it's all in English. Like, I'm so used to playing The Sims that has Simlish and like fake decor. It's kind of cool to see it be in English. It's just different. Reminds me a little bit of House Flipper in that way. The whole build mode kind of reminds me of House Flipper, if I'm being honest. This is a picture of our little apartment. We can kind of see a floor plan top-down view. We even got a closet in here. This is very realistic layout-wise, with like the hall closet by the front door, the washer and dryer in here. We've got a closet in the bedroom. In some of these, you can see a bit more character customization. Like, this person has tattoos, and there's a couple different interesting hairstyles to look at. I am obsessed with all of these pet photos. It makes me wonder if these are photos of the people who work on the team's pets. Like, are these their real life pets? Because I wouldn't be surprised if they were, and I kind of love that. I think that's a really, really cute little detail. Okay, do you see what I mean though when I talk about how the characters like almost don't fit in with the style of the environment? Like, these people look like a drawing, and that's not bad. I like it, but the textures are just so different on the hair versus like on the lace and the croissants on the table. It always kind of throws me off a little bit, and I know it's like way too late. That's not going to change, but it still just feels kind of strange when I look at it. It's not like a game ruining thing to me. It seems off. I'm so picky about the art style of games though, so I'm sorry for being mean. I'll stop. This cottage build, you guys, I know I keep saying it. I'm so excited about build mode. This is like living my dream right now. Looking at this, I'm so happy. I'm so excited about doing this. Look at the little details with the picture on the fridge and all of the kitchen clutter. Realistic kitchen clutter too, like the sponge and the gloves, the bag of flour. I want to have groceries in my house. This also kind of reminds me of House Flipper. House Flipper has a whole section of like bananas and like food in the build mode catalog. It's kind of fun. I love like decorating with a literal piece of pie in that game. Here's another image of that character creation screen. We can see like the appearance, clothing, personality sections. It looks like some of this might be for setting family tree and like genetic information between different characters. I'll be curious to see that in action. I don't know what this thumbs up and thumbs down means. I'm not 100% sure about what that is telling me, but I'll be curious to see. I know we talked about it earlier, but I am so fascinated by how the career stuff is going to work. I'm really, really excited and interested in the career and the skill building in this game. Lots of very cool gym equipment and like different gym activities for you to do. I'm loving some of the clutter in this room. Sorry to talk about build mode again. I'm always talking about build mode. I'm really intrigued also by the talking to other characters thing. It's just very different, and I don't want to say simplified because like parts of it are simplified. The menu options are simplified, but the system with like the relationship building is more complex, it seems like. But I appreciate that it's different. It's not The Sims. It's a different game than The Sims, and so it should work differently. And I like how it's focused on like leveling up and skill building. It really appeals to my like little rags to riches player at heart. I like to progress in my games, and there's good opportunities to do that here. This is interesting. It looks like this is a wedding screenshot with the pretty flowers and the dress. Perhaps these are some wedding guests in attendance. We can see the dinner table set with some food laid out. We can see different food options this way too, which is kind of cool. It looks like a sticker. As if someone just put like a sticker of a baby on the floor. Oh no. The room is amazing. The detail of the room, and then like the babies, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. I'm not obsessed with the style of the characters still to this day. I've always said that, and I'm so sorry. I don't want to be mean. I love Paralives. I'm really excited about Paralives, but these are the babies, the infants and the toddlers maybe. We can see a little play mat. There's a toddler potty over here. We've got like some cute decor set up in the room. I really like the little baby toys. I'm curious about that. This thing scares me. That thing, the clown, no, that scares me. I really like this cat picture. I would literally buy that in real life to put like on my wall in real life. And Dan is gonna love that duck planter. My husband's username is Duck Dan. That's the joke, but he's gonna be excited about that. Here we've got some Sims lounging out by the pool in a blue suburban house. We've got all of our swimwear on. I love the pizza and the smoothie by the chair. I love these flowers too. Those look really pretty. Squat, lift, burn, never give up. Okay. There's a ramen on the nightstand and a toothbrush. That's kind of funny. And that's the last screenshot. So I overall have really, really good feelings about Paralives. I'm really excited about Paralives. I know I'm gonna play Paralives a lot, certainly on stream. I'm not gonna like make a video on this every day, but I'll definitely play it here on YouTube when it comes out. Hopefully I've appropriately expressed my feelings and my concerns about this game. I'm not trying to be mean. I know I pointed out a couple things and I was mean, but I wasn't trying to be mean. I'm really, 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 really excited about Paralives. Paralives, and I've been excited about Paralives, and I feel like we can actually get more excited about Paralives now that we've got like a release date estimate to look forward to. I'm curious to hear what your thoughts are on this game down below. There's a ton of news about this game that I have not talked about on YouTube. I definitely did not cover everything in this video today, so I'm gonna link all of their social media and stuff down below in case you want to go follow them. I assume some of the team might end up watching this, so to you, congratulations. The game is looking really good. It's really exciting for me as a person who's been following it for so long to like see it getting to this point, and I can't even imagine how excited and how proud you must feel. So again, congratulations. And on that note, I am going to end this video right here. If you're curious about Paralives, let me know if I should make some follow-up update videos about it. I'm probably gonna do it anyway. Like, I'm probably gonna try and make videos to keep you in the loop no matter what you say, but just let me know if it's worth even talking about, and I am gonna catch you all tomorrow. Okay, bye everybody. Why do I even bother asking? I'm like, hey guys, do you want to see more of this? Okay, well, too bad. I'm gonna make it anyway. I'm excited about Paralives, especially now, so I'm gonna keep talking about it.